Hi, Toronto group. This is Ken Carpenter, and this is my post for the Module 5 discussion on food, water, and energy. The first question was, in what area, food, energy, or water procurement and use is your city most unsustainable? Food and the lack thereof for a certain part of the population is uh, obviously important, but it all comes back to water. They have such sewage problems in Toronto. I've spoke about this before, but I went into more detail about it. Because most newer cities use two pipes and first one for one separate pipes, one for raw sewage and one for storm water. Toronto still to this day still has one pipe, and when it floods, it goes into Lake Ontario, and some of it's just raw sewage, and some of it is treated. But that's the same water that they use for drinking water, and so that'll just drive up the cost because they treat it with chlorine. There was a podcast that was done by Patrick McManus, who's the executive director of the Ontario Sewer and Water Main uh, Construction Association, and he was saying that Toronto is building sewers at the same time as they're experiencing development, which is backwards. Sewer systems are supposed to go in before your development, so. I still think that is a big issue. As far as like what can out of the three areas, what's the greatest potential? I think it's food because I think it won't need the outlay of resources that the water problem is. 1 in 5 Torontans experiences food insecurity, so they have inadequate or they just don't have the ability to pay for. And they have insecure access to food, and part of the problem is that Ontario Works, which is their social assistance program, is not properly funded. So this is continue to just be a problem. As far as what strategies you could implement to improve the food, water, energy nexus. As far as energy, they Toronto relies on half their energy through nuclear, which is carbon free. But if there's ever an accident to that nuclear reactor, it's run by Ontario. They're going to have an issue with power because they rely so heavily on it. So they should shift to some bio. As far as food and food insecurity, I think they need to fund Ontario Works. There are some plans out there or some associations. Feed It Forward, which is an organization that has built stores that gets food from restaurants and retail and either gives it away to the poor or just they ask for just a nominal whatever you can pay. So that strategy is helping. And as far as like fixing their water problem, it's just they're going to have to put some bond measures to adequately fund the massive sewage problem and water problems and funding that's happening.